So I did the live stream earlier on, and one of you asked me to do a video on Les Brown. You wanted me to explain how he inspired me and kind of go into the detail. It's a pleasure, as I said on the live stream, happy to do it. So what happened to me is I always remember it. I think I was about age 25. I was living on my own in a small apartment in a nice area, and I was struggling bad at this time, you know, with anxiety, mostly social anxiety and life anxiety. I was having panic attacks every single day for a period. In the morning, every morning I wake up, horrible panic attacks, and you know, just really struggling with my life, very depressed. And what would always get me down was I always felt bad because I hadn't achieved success, because I had such high expectations of myself, which isn't a bad thing. And when I look at my life, I was not successful in any area. I didn't have a girlfriend, I wasn't making any money, I was unemployed, and I wasn't quite in the shape. Actually, I was kind of in and out of shape, but I just weren't, I didn't make it yet, I didn't succeed. And I always knew that I could as a kid, I always wanted to. And I'd feel bad about feeling bad, and it was so hard to get out of that pattern. I just didn't feel like being around people, unless it was family or close friends. So the social anxiety was making me feel ashamed, you know, it was making me feel like I've got this secret and I'm hiding it from the world, and I haven't got the courage to admit it, get help, talk about it, and it's killing me inside. It really is. It was like being alive, but feeling dead inside. I was dead inside, that's how I was. I had no passion, but I was obviously, I had thoughts of taking my own life, but I didn't want to, I was afraid to do it. I was afraid to live and I was afraid to die. So I just felt trapped, and I just felt like I couldn't turn to anyone. Obviously I did pray to God, my faith was up and down, and I just felt like every day was Groundhog Day. It was never going to get better for me. Things could get better for others, but they couldn't get better for me. I was always going to be in this position. I was always going to be broke. I was never going to have a girlfriend. I was always going to have anxiety. I was always going to have low self-esteem. I was always going to kind of be in the same area, and I just wanted out. I wanted out of this life. I don't mean I wanted to take my own life. I thought that I wanted to be happy in who I was. I wanted to excel. And really what I was really trying to say to myself is, I understand now, at the time, I wanted to face my fears, because at some level I knew if I faced my fears and I committed to them and I didn't protect myself and make excuses, I would live my dreams. So I stumbled upon Les Brown's video by an accident. Actually, a friend of mine had his book and I wasn't interested in it, and he just told me the name and he said it's really good, and I just was I wasn't that interested. I looked at the cover, I was like, okay, Les Brown. And I don't know what possessed me to go on YouTube and write his name in and listen. I found one of his audios and I listened to it, and there was a couple of things he said in his story which moved me so much it made me cry. And I didn't cry because I was sad. I cried because he made me feel good about the fact that I felt so bad in my life position and the fact that I could change it. And I believed this story. And at the time I was very skeptical. I didn't trust people, especially businessmen. Anybody, I didn't really trust people very well unless I knew them. But I trusted him 100%. I knew he was telling the truth. And he spoke about being teased at school and called the dumb one. And I was called dumb at school and teased and made to feel stupid when really I wasn't. And he talked about being bullied, talked about being abandoned, you know, and being adopted. Obviously I wasn't adopted. Lucky I had my parents, but I went through the bullying and the name calling and feeling dumb, and the fact that every time you tried to do something is the inner voice would say you're dumb, you're not good enough, you're no one, look at you, you're nothing. And when he said it's possible, you can live your dreams, I've done it, he kept saying it, made me cry. It was so powerful. And then the best thing he said that made me take action and stop being a coward was, you will fail your way to success. He said life's tough, but it's even tougher when you don't live your dreams. And he spoke about the process, and it made me not feel ashamed anymore about the failures, because I failed in my life and I was afraid to try new things, because I was always afraid of reliving the experiences in my childhood which were traumatic to me, where I'd failed, where I'd got beaten up, where, you know, kids had teased me, or where a girl had rejected me, or in so many different ways how I felt rejected. I didn't want to go through it, but Les Brown said you have to go through it, And he said, you've got to be hungry, you've got to be relentless, you've got to have a passion, you've got to be fearless, you've got to set goals, you've got to visualize, you've got to do affirmations, you've got to get away from the toxic, negative people in life. And I had people like that around me, and I was like that. I was toxic to a certain degree. I was. He said, you've got to change yourself. And he explained it, and it made sense. And I liked his message because it was honest, it was straightforward, it was no bullshit, it was simple. And he spoke a language that I could understand. Because there were all these other teachers, maybe they were great, but I couldn't trust them, and I didn't understand what they were saying. It didn't make sense to me. Les Brown put it out, no bullshit, straight to the point. And the message, the voice, and what he said was true. What he said to me was, you've got talents and abilities that you don't even know you've got. You've got the ability to transform thousands of millions of people's lives all around the world. But you won't believe me right now because you don't believe in yourself, but I believe in you. And he said, sometimes you need somebody else to believe in you until your own self-belief kicks in and you believe in yourself. So when he explained that he come from a bad place, got into a good place, and that I could do it, I believed him. And I thought, right, now it's time to put this into action, because talk is cheap, actions speak louder than words. So I just went out over a period of 2 years, and I faced everything that frightened me, starting with joining gyms and getting around guys and getting comfortable around men, masculinity, tough guys. I did that, and it changed my life. I got confident. I did the boxing. I was an amateur boxer. I'd done the bodybuilding. I got in great shape. I got a lot of confidence. Then I went into the area that I was most scared of, women, talking to women, social anxiety. I started talking to women. I eventually got a girlfriend. Then I did public speaking. Then I started my own business. Then I went to interviews, and I've done podcast shows. I started to stand up for myself. I made new friends. I got away from the negative ones. My whole life changed in a matter of 24 months, 2 years, because I listened to Les Brown's story, his message. The words resonated. Everything he said came true. Everything he said, he promised. When I applied it, it wasn't easy, and he said it wouldn't be easy, and I didn't expect it to be. My life changed, and I became a famous, renowned dating, confidence coach, and I worked with people from all around the world, attracted business from all around the world. It was amazing. He changed my life, applying his advice. So that's why I've always been thankful to Les Brown, and I've always told people, and I've always, spoken about it, because he played a crucial part, as many other great people did. But, Bruce Lee inspired me. But yeah, Les Brown was so real, and I still listen to his stuff. He's amazing. He's fantastic. So that's the story of Les Brown. And that's why I say I got my own teaching, obviously. I've got my own life experience. But his words, failure equals success, that was the most powerful affirmation. He says so many good things. But for me personally, I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that it's okay for me to fail. It doesn't make me a disgraceful person. It doesn't make me unintelligent or dumb or thick. It actually makes me a brave person. And everybody goes through failure in order to get success. You just have to not quit. He said, don't quit. You're going to feel like quitting at times. And he spoke about times in his life where he was failing and struggling and people were doubting him, but he just kept going. He had the hunger, the passion. And that's what happened to me. I ignited the passion and the hunger. I love self-improvement. I loved getting over my fears. I loved all of this stuff. And I loved teaching it even more than I did being a practitioner. So that's the story of Les Brown. I hope you enjoyed it, all right? Fearless.